sometimes you stumble on these type of tombs. There's another one hidden back there. They're called step tombs. Very simple. And the body or casket was laid on the ground, then it was just bricked up. And look at how far down this has sunk into the ground.
Wow.
So the tombstone sunk. But, you know, it's very interesting that's all we have left of that one. Now we're going to look at a tomb that has a lot of interesting. When you're looking at a tomb, try to read what the symbols are on the tomb, because that will connect you with the knowledge of who these people were. This here is a Creole. First of all, when you look at it, pay attention to the symbols and a lot of the other details that you see on this tomb. It'll tell you a lot about the people that are buried here. The first thing you want to look at is the shape of the tomb. It's classical Greek with a classical pediment, saying that these people were high-class society. That's the first thing. The second thing is, look at these little flowers. These are called poppies, and poppies is a symbol of sleep. You know, like in the movie The Wizard of Oz, you know, poppies will make them sleep. Well, poppy is a symbol of sleep. So, and also, the cross with the victory means that these people were Christian, probably specifically Catholic Christian, and that wreath was the acanthus wreath that was the symbol of victory by the Greeks and Romans. So that means that you're victorious, that they believe very much in the resurrection of Christ. And of course, the cross is a symbol of Christianity, but you know how we have a nice, neat cross, but Jesus of Nazareth was not killed on a very neat cross like that.
Right.
He was actually, and other criminals were, he's not the only one, were died on this platform. It was a platform of torture outside the city.
Wow.
Basically, you know, they had like 3 prongs like this, and like whole platforms of criminals that would be buried outside the city. And so that's, but over time, the Christian cross had the very neat symbol like this, and to symbolize where the divine meets the human, where the vertical meets the horizontal. The divine meaning the vertical and the horizontal meaning the human, where the human and the divine intersect each other. So that's another thing we can get out of that symbol there also. The other thing to notice is that the woman has retained her family maiden name. That was very common in the Creoles, where the woman would not entirely drop her name. It was somewhere hidden in her name. The Creoles did that. And these are acanthus leaves linking this family with southern Europe, because the acanthus grows profusely. And we have a lyre, not a lyre pence on fire, but L-Y-R-E, which is a musical instrument, linking this family with music. So somebody in this family was either a musician or they had a love of music. So that's another thing to learn. The other thing is, let's see if I have it. No, I don't have it here. But I usually have a fleur-de-lis on. You know, the fleur-de-lis, you've seen that all over the place. You're probably wondering what that's all about. A lot of French people come here. They can't believe that we're still hold on to that symbol of the past. It came from France, and it's over 1,000 years old. And it goes way back to King Clovis, the first king to believe in Christianity, where he had an angel appear to him. And he had a battle to fight, and the angel showed him to go through a field of lilies. He went through a field of lilies, and he was very successful. And ever since then, the French royalty adopted that as their coat on their coat of arms. So the original French flag was white with gold fleur-de-lis with gold fringes all the way around the edge. But there's other there's other connections too to that. Also, it's the 3 levels of society: those who pray, those who work, and those who govern. So that's the 3 levels of society. And the other thing is, it could also be like a French shamrock to teach people the inner life of the Christian belief of the 3 persons in one God. Because a lot of people that are non-Christian think that Christians believe in 3 gods, but we don't. There's actually an inner life of a community. God himself is a community within. It's like you're someone's son, you're someone's uncle, you're someone's brother, but you're still one. You know, that's idea.
Type of thing,
it's like a community within yourself. That's one way to look at it. So anyway, and when someone died in a Creole society, it was a big thing. As they were laid out, they would lay heavy silver coins in their eyelids to keep their eyes shut, to allow them a peaceful death, a transition to the next world. And they would dress in black, they would cover all their mirrors in black. Black is a spiritual color. They would they would drape their mirrors in black, so that the spirit of the deceased would not long and be tortured to come back to this life. That's why, to make it easier transition to the next life. And of course, they would dress, and they stop the clocks on the moment of the person's death, not to be rewound until 1 year, 1 day after the person has died. That was a Creole custom. Now we're going to take a peek at the. Remember we talked about the War of 1812, where the British were trying to overtake the city of New Orleans, but they were unsuccessful because they beat them back. Here's the remains of the soldiers, the Orleans
I'll take one corner if you want to take another.
No, we're just briefly going to look at it.
Okay.
So notice the torches upside down, the symbol of death. The hourglass meant your time is up, and of course, those things that look like grenades are actually pomegranates. We found out those are, which is a symbol of eternal life. Have you ever cut open a pomegranate and see billions of tiny seeds? It's almost like an infinite number of seeds. So that's why they have that there as a symbol of eternity. And of course, the stylized acanthus leaf, linking it from the Creole lands of their origin. Now we're going to look at the tomb. Do you remember a movie called Easy Rider that was made back in 1970?
Yeah, Peter Fonda, yeah.
And at that time, the whole country was in turmoil because we were all protesting the Vietnam War. It was just an awful time where the whole fiber of society was coming, and liberals were fighting conservatives, and oh God, what a mess.
It's bad.
Oh, it looks like history is repeating itself.
I know, right? Telling you.
We haven't learned.
I know.
But anyway, there was a scene in that movie. Well, basically, the movie was about a long-haired hippie that wanted to find the freedom of America, but his concept of freedom was getting high on drugs, LSD and other things, and he was loaded. And they came to the cemetery at Mardi Gras time, and some members were committing lewd conducts among the tombs, and he himself was loaded on LSD and thought that the statue was his mother, and started screaming and crying. It's in the film. You ought to see it. So when the archdiocese found out about it, they were furious.
They weren't happy.
The whole city of the dead, the whole cemetery was closed and had to be reconsecrated because it was desecrated.
Wow, because of that, wow.
So the only way you can make a movie, you have to get handwritten permission from the archdiocese, and then it can only be historical.
Wow.
Now we're going to look at a famous tomb of someone who's still alive and they're not dead yet. So
Okay. Hold on, why don't we do that and then we'll come back?
Oh, this whole thing is
It's huge.
this thing is umbrellas.
I'll be fine. I don't know, Tyler, if you want this one, but I'm good.
That's for what?
If you want.
Omnia ab uno. What does that mean in Latin? Many from one. And this is going to be the future tomb of none other than Nicolas Cage.
Oh, wow.
Star,
Right.
who lives in California, and he had investments here several years ago. He pulled out of all his investments, but left his cemetery property here. So this is where he and his family will be buried. How do you like
Wow.
I'm gonna take a picture of her.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, he's wild. He's wow. So it's kind of a pyramid.
What?
What
Along before the rain comes.
comes out?
Yeah, let's
Take a picture under her umbrella.
Okay.